What's good, y'all? It's your boy Ross, back at it again with another video. So, there's a lot going on right now in AEW with CM Punk and the EVPs from like Kenny Omega to the Young Bucks. Tony Khan has a lot going on in the backstage scene. It's like chaos. It's just straight chaos. I think the backstage antics are more important now and like being more talked about than what's happening with what's going on the main show. So we got to talk about this. This is just insane. Let's get right into this one. This is brought to you by CagesideSeats.com. Let's get right into this one. Question persists about who started CM Punk / Elite Fight, police involvement. Updated, man. The latest Wrestling Observer Radio has the latest on the biggest stories coming out of the busy weekend. The backstage brawl between the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega and CM Punk and Ace Steel that took place after All Out. As every wrestling fan who checked the wrestling website since Sunday, September 4th, knows, the fight took place after Press addressed the lingering rumors about his role in Colt Cabana being moved off AEW television and into behind-the-scene role with Ring of Honor at the post-pay-per-view media scrum. His comments, including insulting remarks about Hangman Page, whose promos alluding to the Cabana situation back in May, is a trigger point for everything that followed. And the Elite Trio, who he referred as people, we're already into our third or fourth round of reports on the melee, and there's a lot of agreements about the details. First and foremost, despite what portion of the internet thinks and will probably always think, the fight was not a work. Police were involved at the time of the incident, and none of the principals are talking about the possible pending legal action. Among people Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez spoke to, no one disputed that Punk punched Matt Jackson or that Steel threw a chair which hit Nick Jackson and pulled Kenny Omega's hair and bit him. Jeez. Where there is an agreement per Alvarez. The disagreement between the two sides is that one side claims that CM Punk threw the first punch, the Young Bucks walked in and he started punching. The other side claims that the Young Bucks stormed in and were the aggressors, and that Punk and Ace were defending themselves. Those are the two sides of the stories, and depending on who you talk to, who was there, who heard what from who, you're gonna hear one side of the story or the other, which sounds about right in an altercation. Sorting out which side of the story is truthful will fall to Tony Khan, whose leadership is already in question since the issues between the two sides were apparently well known backstage for months. And because he took no steps to stop or redirect Punk at the scrum, Meltzer believes an official decision on addressing the entire embarrassing situation won't come quickly. That's partly because of the involvement of police and lawyers, but also because that's how Tony Khan handled a similar crisis when Jeff Hardy was arrested earlier this summer. And as if all of that wasn't enough of a disaster, Meltzer says Punk was in the trainer's room at the end of the night, so he may have been injured in the brawl. Just some stuff to look forward in the 6th and the 7th reports we get on the brawl, probably coming later today or tomorrow. And I've been seeing some reports saying that he may have torn a muscle in this melee of sorts. This is just insane. This is truly insane what's going on right now. I think a lot of people have criticism for CM Punk. There's a lot of people have criticism for the EVPs in Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. And there are people who are giving criticism to Tony Khan for not really stepping in and taking leadership and saying, hey, let's talk about something else. He didn't step in really. He just kind of let CM Punk just riff. And I want to give my perspective on everything that's going on here. Some people are saying this was very unprofessional of CM Punk. And then there's some people saying, well, I understand where CM Punk is coming from. He's frustrated. I see both sides of the argument. I have no problem with CM Punk maybe defending himself, saying I didn't get Colt Cabana fired or whatnot. I have no problems with that. What I guess you could say the issue I may have is the fact that he started burying people. I'm talking about the EVPs, Adam Page. He started burying them. Now the Adam Page situation, I think he kind of already took care of that live on television after he gave Adam Page his receipt in the promo form. But then to continuously bury him and the EVPs, you only had to know there was going to be some issues there. Like, there's no way CM Punk didn't know there was going to be some altercation when he walked in the back. I mean, he pretty much said it, bro. If you got a problem with me, what's up? So I'm pretty sure when he walked back there, they had a problem with it, and it went to fisticuffs. Now, the question is, who threw the first punch? If CM Punk threw the first punch, I got to do, hey, that's not what's up. CM Punk, that's definitely not cool, and he should be reprimanded. If they ended up throwing the first punch, they should be reprimanded. But at the end of the day, CM Punk, what he said may have been true, and he may be justified in saying that, but there's always a time and a place. And really, you're supposed to be talking about the show. No one even really is talking about MJF coming back. That should be the biggest thing for AEW this weekend. MJF making his return. That should be what everyone's talking about. But everyone is talking about now what the hell CM Punk said at the media scrum, and now this brawl that is supposedly have happened. That's what everyone's talking about. No one's talking about MJF coming back, what he's going to do, potentially how they're going to start this feud up again. That should be the main point. So this media scrum, you kind of took away what happened on the show. No one's talking about what happened on the show. Everyone's talking about the media scrum, and everyone's talking about the backstage brawl, and that takes away from your product. People are going to want to know, hell, what the hell's going on backstage instead of what's going on in front of them now. So yeah, I think CM Punk, in hindsight, I do feel like he let his emotions get the best of him and started going on this tangent about how he felt about the people in the back, and that's cool, but it's a time and a place. He should have did that somewhere else. You don't do that after the media scrum, and now expect nothing to happen. Like, he had to know as soon as he got out of there was going to be some issues, and it wasn't going to be on no talking basis. It was going to be on some, what's up? You got a problem with me? Let's fucking go. People biting each other, pulling hairs, throwing chairs, and now if he's injured, oh man, that just ruins everything. And apparently, there's some reports saying he ended up knocking out somebody. I don't know how true that is. I'm not going to really buy into that. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But either way, if CM Punk is injured again, what the fuck? What the hell, bro? Like, that is just awful. Like, I don't know, man. This is just, who this falls on more than anybody else is Tony Khan. I'm sorry. Tony Khan should have nipped this in the bud. You need to nip this in the bud, bro. You need to not be as passive when it comes to the backstage stuff and nip this in the bud. And if CM Punk did throw the first punch, we got to be fair. I know it's not going to happen, but he probably should get suspended. You saw what happened with Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston ended up getting suspended, and his altercation was a little bit less as severe than what we got going on here. His altercation with Sammy Guevara was a little bit, but the report saying he pie-faced him, but you know what I'm saying, it's still less of intense as what's going on here. He was throwing punches. So fair is fair. You got to suspend him, but once again, this is wrestling. This is a business. Remember when Brock Lesnar stormed out supposedly and wasn't going to be on SmackDown when they found out Vince had retired or left? Remember what he did there? And then they brought him back. Nothing happened to him. You want to know why? Because he's fucking Brock Lesnar, and he's a money draw. When you're a money draw, when you're a big star, you get extra privileges. I'm sorry, it's messed up. It's not fair, but you get extra privileges. CM Punk can get away probably with punching somebody in the face, and he's their biggest draw. It sucks, right? It's messed up. So I don't know if Tony Khan's gonna stand stand true to himself and say, nah, bro, that wasn't cool. I get your frustration, but I gotta suspend you. And then what does this do for the overall locker room perception? Like this is not good. Your top guy is getting into it with your EVPs, and it's just a whole mess of things. This is bro, I don't even know what to say. This is really, really wild. Yeah, bro, I'm thinking it's just gonna, I did hear about the brawl yesterday, but I didn't know the exact details, and now we're getting exact details supposedly. This is just insane. Tony Khan, you got to take control of your company, bro. If you don't, more stuff like this is gonna happen, and you don't want this to spill over into your television product to the point where maybe somebody goes into business for themselves and they actually start throwing like, stiff punches at someone that's not prepared for it. Like, it can get dangerous. So I don't know, Tony Khan, you got to figure out something. But comment down below, let me know, what do y'all feel like? How do y'all feel about this whole situation? Do you feel like CM Punk is in the right? Do you feel like Adam Page is in the right? Do you feel like the EVPs are in the right for how they feel? What do y'all feel about this whole situation? How do you guys think things will play out? And do you guys think Tony Khan should take some of the blame here by not stepping up as the guy that owns the goddamn place and getting involved? Let me know down below. But I appreciate all the love and support. Road to 100K. Appreciate y'all kicking with me. See y'all next one. Peace.